Hey guys, welcome to IPL Radio, and we have a really special guest today. I'll introduce her in a second, and just to let you guys know, we've got two amazing co-hosts. We've got Zen. Hi, Zen. And then we've got Alex. Alex, how are you going?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Okay, hold on, guys. We're just going to check mics. If you just bring your mics a little closer. Yeah, try that. Now go.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
That's
hello.
better.
There we go.
Perfect, guys. That was my bad. Okay, so these guys, Alex and Zen, are going to help me co-host today. It is their first show, and as everyone knows, I have crazy ADHD, so bear with us all. We are going to interview today Brittany, and Brittany, do you want to introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about what's going on with you and what your story is?
So my name is Brittany. I'm 28 years old. In March this year, I was diagnosed with stage 3 cervical cancer, and it would come as a complete shock. Originally in February, I'd had a miscarriage, and when they went to find out why I'd had a miscarriage, they said, we found some black spotting in you. And I was like, what does that mean? And he said, we have to take biopsies off and send them away. He said, don't panic. I think it's just benign. And I was like, yep, cool, no worries. He said, I would be a couple of weeks wait. It was less than 2 weeks, and he called and he said, I need you to come in for an emergency appointment. We need to discuss what's going on. Can you bring a support person? Me being me, I'm like, oh, I'm fine. Nothing's wrong. Go to the appointment by myself. And he's like, are you here alone? And I went, mm-hmm. And he goes, you really needed someone here. And I said, no, I'm all right. Let's just get this over and done with. I've got to go and get my kids. And he said, Brittany, I'm so sorry, but you've got stage 3 cervical cancer. And all of a sudden everything just went completely quiet around me. And I was like, nah, this isn't happening. So when I got diagnosed, it basically just all snowballed from there. I was meant to have surgery before Easter, but ended up with COVID. So did my kids. So we spent nearly 3 weeks in isolation.
Was that scary for you, knowing that you had this cancer and you had this surgery, but you couldn't get the surgery because of the COVID?
It was more scary for the fact that I live with my grandparents, and my grandfather is a prostate cancer patient, and he got COVID. So I was more concerned that he was going to pass away than anything. But yeah, it has been scary waiting up for surgery. It's just been one thing after another. Unfortunately, because I've got such a low immune system, or no immune system, I catch everything. So I've had pneumonia now for 5.5 weeks, and it's still not going away. I've still got it, but they'll still operate on me in a few weeks' time. I've had my first round of chemo, and I can tell you that knocked me for 6. It was so hard. I take my hat off to my pop. He's had chemotherapy for 4 years. I didn't expect it to be this hard. Like, you feel like your veins are burning. You're up all night in pain. The nauseated feeling all the time, no energy. Like, I don't know how my pop's done 4 years, but yeah, it's been extremely difficult. But as I say to everyone, I took it with a pinch of salt and went, right, this is just what I've got to do. Instead of sitting on my ass and sulking about it, I've decided to do a fundraiser for the Australian Cervical Cancer Foundation and shave my head publicly on the 9th of July, which is in 5 days now.
Yeah. Can you tell us a bit more about, we'll touch back on everything, but on the subject of the event, can you tell us more about the event? Where is it and what time? It's
at the Port Kennedy Tavern. On the 8th of July, they're doing a raffle fundraiser on the Friday night from 6 p.m. And there has been a lot of local businesses who have jumped on board, supported it and thrown up things to go for the raffle. All the proceeds from that will go directly to the Australian Cervical Cancer Foundation. And then on the Saturday, we're having a fundraiser from 4 p.m. in the beer garden, where we'll shave my head at about 4:30, 5 o'clock, and all the funds from that will be raised for the Australian Cervical Cancer Foundation, because there isn't really any fundraisers for ovarian cancer or cervical cancer in WA. There is,
really?
Yeah,
wow.
There's breast, prostate and bowel, but there is nothing for cervical cancer or ovarian cancer.
That makes no sense to me.
It really doesn't.
Wow.
Yeah, when I heard that there was like nothing, even when you go to the doctors, next time you go, everyone, have a look on the walls. There is nothing about cervical cancer up on the walls.
I wonder why that is.
There's COVID-19 vaccines, flu vaccines, you name it, but there is not one thing for cervical cancer.
Wow, that's really frustrating.
It is really frustrating. So that's why I'm working with the Australian Cervical Foundation to try and get more awareness out there, get more funding for research and things like that, because believe it or not, cervical cancer is one of the top killers in women
massive.
Between 25 and 29.
Yeah, it runs thick in my family too. That shocks me. I thought that was like a big thing for women. That and breast cancer, I thought they were the most popular. So
I
that's
read my
baffling.
own little survey amongst friends and family and people that I knew, and out of 42 women, only 3 had had pap smears done.
Oh my God, don't get me started. I know. And there's so many things like telling me you need, like, I keep getting the letters and there'll be things popping up.
You need to go and have it done.
Yeah,
I've even got a postcard in my bag to give to you that says go and have a cervical screening.
Funnily enough, I have a doctor's appointment after this. So
good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I can encourage anyone, just go and get tested, because you may not have it, but you might have cervical cancer cells, which could come back in years' time.
Because I have polycystic, and I think that gives you a higher risk.
It does give you a very higher risk of getting cervical cancer. But anyone who has abnormal periods or anything like that, intercourse when it's painful, severe bloating, my biggest thing for me was that I was 130 kilos and I lost weight like that. Did you not think Well, I went to the doctors and they told me, and I'm going to be honest, I was a cannabis smoker, and they said it's because you smoke cannabis, and I believed it, and I kept going back, and every time they're like, it's because you smoke cannabis. My oncologist said to me the other day that because Rockingham Hospital didn't do any more investigations, I've probably had cancer for 2.5 years. So if I had have caught this about 2 years prior,
it'd be a whole different story.
It could have been a whole different story.
Oh my God. So from the time that you were diagnosed, when did it all hit? Was it fast?
I've been sick for months. When I say months, over a year.
And you're just like pushing through thinking,
I just push through. I've got 2 girls. I can't sit down on my ass and do nothing.
Yeah, I know, right? Can you explain, because I think this is really important. Can you maybe explain for the listeners what those symptoms were, like what that feeling was for people, like if they're going through the similar sort of feeling, so low, lethargic?
So I was, very lethargic, had no energy. When I had got my period, it was severely heavy, or it would just be no period at all, but I'd have the pain. When I had intercourse, it was severely painful. I had bloating to the point where it looked like I was pregnant. And then, like I said, the dramatic weight loss was the biggest thing for me. I was 130 kilos and I just lost weight like that. I was trying to lose weight, but I wasn't going extreme like dieting and going to the gym. It was just literally a brisk walk of an afternoon, but I lost 75 kilos just like that. And my doctors kept saying to me, like, you need to slow down. You know, I've got no nutrients in my body after this. And he's like, we can't understand why you're so sick. Couldn't understand it.
At what point are they going to be like, let's look deeper into this?
So they put it on a couple things, because I've got alpha thalassemia. It's a blood trait that makes you can't absorb iron. So I have to have blood transfusions with iron in them.
Me too, yep.
So because they thought it could be because of that, and then they thought it was they thought that I had ulcers in my stomach, because I did used to suffer with ulcers, but they just could never, ever pin it down to what it was. And then, as I said, I found out I was pregnant, and then I had a miscarriage, and I was in so much pain that I went back to the hospital, and they were like, something's not right here. And I finally got a good gynecologist who went, we need to run scans. We need to see what's going on.
Were they thinking ectopic, or were they?
Yeah, they were thinking ectopic. So he went through everything. And when he put me in sent me for a PET scan, which is where they put radiation through your body to see where the cancer is. I lit up like a freaking Christmas tree. And he was just like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
And he said, how long have you been in pain for? And I said, months. I've been in pain.
It became your norm.
It just became normal. You get used to it. Like I said to everyone says, how do you function? You get that used to dealing with it.
And you forget how good it felt to be healthy and great.
Yeah, I look back at videos even just 6 months earlier, back at Christmas time, and I'm like, I was so happy then. And I look at me now and I'm like, I look so miserable in pictures. It's really hard. Like, and there is a lot of people who expect a lot out of me, even though I am still sick.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of toxic family members. But I've put my foot down. I've got really good grandparents. My grandparents have been amazing. They always have been. They supported me through everything. My friends have been like family to me, especially my best friend Simone. Like, she's got 2 young boys of her own, but at the drop of a hat, she's there. She takes care of me, picks me up when I fall.
And that's what you need the most right now. You need that support, that reliable support.
Yeah, Jackie was my support when it come to all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Jack was absolutely everything to me.
Did you get did you find out when he was still alive? Oh, that sucks. That's hard for you.
I was in hospital having a D&C suction done, and I'd stayed off social media because I was just so depressed and so down. And when I opened up social media, there was a post about Jack saying that he killed himself, and I was just like, fuck off. Called his mobile, and it just went straight to voicemail, and I was like, what? And then a good friend of mine actually contacted me and said, we didn't want to let you know while you were sick. And I was just like, you should have let me know.
Yeah.
I was actually quite angry, and I haven't talked to them since.
That's a normal reaction, I think. Just for the listeners, I just want to, I should have done this at the start, just put out a trigger warning for, just because today we are talking about such touchy and deep and raw things, and there probably will be a lot of suicide and mental health brought up, and so the lifeline number is 13 11 14. And for those who have listened to our Monday show before, Jack was a very dear friend of mine that took his life, and it just so happens that I know Brittany through Jack's mum, Karen, and that's how Brittany's here today for us to talk about. I feel like Jack's guided you here.
Yeah, I feel
honestly.
like he has too.
Yeah. But but back on that, I can't imagine. Well, I mean, I can't imagine. I've been off social media.
It was just blow after blow.
Yeah.
Like I had the miscarriage, and it was like bang.
And how do you deal with that? Like, how do you deal the answer would be your kids that keeps you going. But it must be hard, man, when you just want to be like, no, I'm done.
Yeah, I was pretty broken.
Feel tested by like you're a joke to whoever's in control up there.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I did sit outside and say like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, why do you do this? Why do you take away the good people and give people such awful diseases that don't deserve it?
How old are you again?
28, nearly 29.
Same as Jack. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so scary. And what have they told you, what's your...
So it's in 65% of my cervix, and it's in part of my fallopian tube, and it's in part of my lymph node on one side. Mm-hmm. So if they can't remove it from out of my lymph node, it means that it's stage 4.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It is quite an aggressive cancer, and unfortunately it makes me quite ill. I've had one lot of chemo, and I'm having another lot on the 13th. I was meant to have my full hysterectomy on the 5th, but I said, like, with my pop being sick, my nan being sick and everything like that at the moment, I can't. I have to be there for them and my kids. So, unfortunately, as much as it's detrimental to my own health, which my doctors know, and they've told me and they've warned me, I have to do what's best for them.
Oh, wow. It's scary.
It is. My 10-year-old's petrified.
How old are your girls?
10 and 3.
Oh, my gosh.
This is why I didn't wear makeup, because I knew I'd cry.
Oh, Brittany, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. No one needs to apologise. Unfortunately, this is just, as I say to everyone, this is the path that I was given. It's not like I got up and went, this is what I want. This is not what I would want or wish upon anyone. It is so hard, and I won't lie. There is people who think that I'm lying about this because they just got nothing better to do with their time, I think, or what have you. But I wouldn't wish this upon my worst enemy.
Yeah, of course.
To sit there over night time and watch your kids and wonder if you're going to be there for the special moments like first love, first dance, first kiss. You think about missing all of that. It breaks your heart.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. I think that'd be absolutely the most painful part.
Yeah. And it's hard because every day that I get up and I'm sick, my girls see that. They know. Mm-hmm. They know that I'm not well, and it's hard on them. We don't get to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
We don't get to do a lot of things. That's as honest as it is. I'm sick a lot. People see on social media the highs. They don't see the lows of what I go through on the outside because I don't post every low.
I would encourage you to.
I spend 90% of my time in bed. The other night I went and did an airport run at midnight because both my grandparents were sick. That was the night that same day that I'd had chemo. I was so crook. People could see that I was, happy with my nephew in the car and my best friend with me. But they don't see the fact that I had a spew bag in between my legs, or the fact that I had to keep pulling over to vomit.
And how hard it was just to get up and go.
Or the fact that I got home and then suffered in pain for hours in the bottom of the shower with my nan sitting in the bathroom begging me to go to the hospital. Like, they don't see all that.
Oh, man. And so I'm guessing from when you said you've got a lot of toxic family members and you keep mentioning your grandparents, is it okay to ask where your parents are in the picture?
My biological father is not in the picture, has never been in the picture. My mum lives 3 doors down, but we don't really have anything to do with one another. She has her own issues in her life. That's the best, most polite way that I can put it without being
understood.
horrible. But she has her own shit going on. I've got my own shit going on, and for now I've just said I can't deal with that. So
it just makes it hard for you to go and get this surgery when you're worried about.
It does, because as I said to everyone, like, I've got my nan and my pop, which is great, but my pop's a prostate cancer patient. My nan is his carer. She's also taking care of me and my kids. Like, when I have surgery, it's going to be even harder because I'm going to have help in and out of bed because they're doing quite invasive surgery.
It's going to be agonising.
Yeah.
Well, were you natural births or C-section?
I was natural birth for all my babies.
I just imagine it. I had like really complex and problems and it was a big drama with my giving birth to my son. And I remember after I literally couldn't breathe, couldn't walk, couldn't stand for so long, like, because it was such a botched job. So I just imagine like times that by however many, you know, it's hard.
He said it's going to be quite invasive. I won't be able to stand up in the shower. I'm going to require a shower and all that sort of thing, which that's fine. I'll do whatever I have to do, just as long as they can do whatever they can to help prolong my life as long as possible.
Just out of curiosity, with personal care like that, will you get a nurse to help you with that, or would it be a family member?
It probably wouldn't be a family member. It would probably be my best friend who would come and help me, one of my best friends who would come and help me shower or what have you. My nan would definitely help me shower, yes, because she lives at the house, but mainly it would be my friends that help me shower because my nan's got enough on her plate with taking care of Pop, taking care of me and my kids as well, because she does everything for us. She cooks. At the moment I help clean and do what I can, but when I have surgery it's going to be very difficult. That's why we've made pumpkin soups and all that sort of thing to go in the freezer.
Does the hospital provide like the service? I know what you were thinking about.
They do support. They do have community support services, but
you do not feel comfortable with that?
No, I don't think I don't want to be taking up someone's time that doesn't really need to help me when I've got people that can help me. You know, there's other people out there that really need it that don't have the family support. You'd be surprised how many people in the chemotherapy unit don't have family support.
Oh, Brie, you're really selfless.
I'd have to be at this point. It was a shock when I went into the chemotherapy. You know, I talked to one man. There was only one man in there. He was in his 70s. He lives by himself, has no family around. All his family are over east. His wife died 10 years ago. Like, he's always been by himself. And I just thought to myself, like, I've got family around. I've got good friends around who can help me. This is someone who needs it more than me.
Yeah, but surely there's plenty of support people for, you know. Oh,
there is. The Australian Cervical Cancer Foundation have been fantastic. Before I was diagnosed with cancer, I was actually doing a course through Smile, a construction course, and they have been fantastic to me.
Wow.
All the workers have checked in. I go to counselling through them. They will all reach out, see how I'm going. The Cancer Council have reached out. I've got so much support through them that it's just, I'm inundated with it, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But I feel a lot more comfortable just if I know it sounds horrible, but I'm very stubborn. I'm very independent, and I
can tell.
Myself.
I was going to say, do you find it hard to accept and receive help? Are you usually the helper?
Yeah, I'm the one that's helping everyone else. So then when people try and help me, I don't know how
to
accept that help. So it's like,
I know the feeling.
Yeah, it's hard, but I'm very lucky. Like, I've got really good mates around me, really good mates. My best friends, Simone and Lauren, I'd be so lost without them because they're my rock through everything. Lauren, I call her my wifey, and Simone's my Bob wifey. And when I fall apart, those girls just pick me straight back up, remind me where I come from and what have you. Like, I've been through a lot in my life. My first son was stillborn at 36 weeks when I was 17. So if that didn't kill me, this isn't going to.
Oh my God. Oh wow.
Yeah.
When you look back at that, at losing your son that way, could that have something to do with how your productive organs were working?
They have always said that Kobe caused a lot of damage after I had him because I had a lot of complications when I was pregnant. So I had Tali, his sister, 5 weeks early, and then my youngest daughter was born 11 weeks early because I had cancerous cysts and they ate away at my cervix. So I went into labour with her. And then she was born with a platonic plasma infection, which is basically a fancy way of saying she had cancer underneath her skin.
What?
So when she was born on Christmas Eve at 12:51 a.m. 5 weeks early, I'd been in labour with her for 5 days, no sleep, nothing. I was in so much pain. She was the size of a Mount Franklin bottle when she came out. She was 2 pounds 6, 1.1 kilos. And I remember going down to the NIC and I was so tired. This was like 3 hours after I'd given birth because I had to have a transfusion of blood.
Yeah.
And I couldn't walk or anything. And they come up and said, the reason why Amity's born is because your cancer's ate away your cervix. And I was like, oh, okay. And they said, she's got a platonic plasma infection. And they handed this paperwork over. There was a 60% chance that it could kill her. There was a 40% chance that it could cure her. So me and her father had to decide then and there on the spot what we were going to do, which was very hard on him.
That's so scary.
Because that was his first baby. So he was, he didn't know what
every parent's worst fear.
Yeah. But she's a fighter. She's so beautiful and so strong. You wouldn't even think that she's pregnant now.
Oh,
and he has been, we've had our ups and downs, but since I've been diagnosed with cancer, he has been absolutely amazing.
Oh, that's really good.
Comes and helps with the girls, offers support whenever he can, listens when I cry,
Yeah.
He's my best mate at the end of the day.
That's all you can ask for.
There's a lot of people that will have their opinions on mine and his
Let
friendship.
him.
But he's my best mate. He knows everything.
Does he work here in Perth or is he FIFO?
He works here in Perth, yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's
it's very
good.
easy for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when are you looking, so you're getting the surgery soon, have you got a date?
5th of August is when I'm having surgery.
So a month.
A month's time, yeah.
Wow.
It gives me time to get my head shaved, get the bed and everything sorted out at home, because that's the biggest thing is that I'll need a bed that can lift up and down.
Yep.
Because I won't be able to get in and out of bed properly.
Yep.
So.
Wow.
Yeah, and I want to spend as less time in hospital as I can because I don't like hospitals.
Understood. Yeah. I hate them. So and your kids know that it's coming up in a month? My eldest daughter knows, but my youngest daughter doesn't really understand. She knows I'm going for surgery, but she's only 3 years.
She just thinks that it's what she call it, belly bugs.
Oh, oh, bless.
Yeah, she doesn't really understand, but my 10-year-old does. She knows that I've got cancer and what have you, and she's like any normal 10-year-old. She pushes the boundary sometimes, but she has been really amazing and quite understanding. Yeah, especially with us being quarantined to home all the time and I can't go anywhere. Yeah, well, mixing this with COVID, it's a vicious I don't combination. Go to the shops. I went out for my sister's 21st birthday and I was there for an hour, and even then I was panicked and I was in a lot of pain. Just understandable. Yeah, you never know what's in the air, and I can't afford to get any sicker than what I already am. Yeah, definitely. So we've got your event coming up this Saturday. Yeah. Are you really nervous about shaving your head? I'm shit scared. My hair's everything to me. Yeah, same. Absolutely everything to me. Yeah. But I guess I've slowly come to terms with it. Yeah. Yeah. I think you might feel really empowered. My best friend messages me every day and he's like, 7 days to go, 7 Britney Spears. And I'm like, yeah, no. I'm scared, but it's just hair. Yeah. 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 It's dead hair anyway, as the oncologist calls it. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, it's just dead hair. So, on the somewhat bright side, head wraps. Yeah. So many choices. Yes. And they've got all these like brightly figured wigs. Hats. Yeah, and all these wigs now that you can wear. Yes, those weaves, girl. Yeah, I've been looking at them, trust me. But I'm like, I don't know how I would go putting them on. My best friend's like, I'll help you. And I'm like, I'll end up with like a toothpaste stuck to the back of my head, knowing her. But honestly, it's just hair. Yeah. At the end of the day, it will grow back. I've watched my pop lose his hair. It grew back. And the funny thing is that when your hair grows back after you have cancer, it's not like normal hair. It's like baby hair. So it's really, really soft. Yeah. That is something to look forward to. Yeah, I really like the feel of baby's hair. I love how soft it is. So every time I walk past him, I rub my hands through his hair and he's like, leave me alone. How long does it take? So you've had your first round of chemo. How long ago was that? That was last week, Monday. Mm-hmm. And then what's the timing for usually when you start to lose your hair? So I started losing my hair back in March as soon as they started giving me the hormone therapy. The hormone basically is an injection that they give you and it helps starve the cancer. As soon as they started giving that to me, my hair started thinning out. And then I went on all these different medications to try and help with, because I've got no hormone levels and whatever, they try and boost up your levels. So it's just fucks with your body, fucks with your hair, fucks with everything.
Yeah.
I've got rashes and sores on me everywhere. It's horrible. But the worst thing is your hair. It just, every time I brush it or I wash it,
you see
it
it
just
coming
comes
out.
And it's just like, that's why I refuse to brush it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I brush it, it comes out in big clumps.
That's
like,
scary.
It's thinned out so much. When I straightened my hair the other day for my sister's birthday, my best friends were there and they were just like, I just seen their face. I just knew. And I've got like balding on the spots and it's all thin up the front here. Like, people think it's normal, but
You
it's
must
not.
have had a quite a forward hairline because it's looking mint still. Don't worry.
It's also a little bit filled in with a little bit of makeup to make it.
Oh
look
yeah. I've done that once or twice. Yeah.
Hey, I'm up for tips with that.
Yeah.
Not even 30 in.
Oh,
my God.
yes.
Yeah, literally, I filled it in with makeup to make it look like a
And there's
really
those
more
sprays
hair.
now. Hey.
Yeah, my girlfriend showed me some video of someone with a spray.
Yeah.
She's like, but don't get this one. And I was like, why? And as he was sweating, it was running down his
no.
face. I was like, oh my God.
I'm such a heavy sweater. That would be me to a
That
T.
would be me to a T too, yeah. But yeah, basically I just wanted to do this fundraiser to, try and help get the Australian Cervical Cancers Fund name out there because there's not really anything out there for them. And I get it, balls and boobs are way more fun to talk about. I get it. But yeah, no, cervical cancer is something that, as I said, I'm only one tiny person, but I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to make sure that every woman I know goes and gets checked.
I believe you will. Hey, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
swear that's what I'm doing after this. I have to go get my third jab, which
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to. But so I'll definitely be like, look, mate, can you give me a pap smear? I'm like 4 or 5 years too
My
late.
aunties and everything have even gone and got checked. My cousins,
Good.
my best friends. My best friend's mum went and got checked and she rang me afterwards. I don't really talk to her that much, but she rang and she's like, oh, I went and had a pap smear done. And I was like, thank you.
Yeah, that's
That's
good.
all I want.
Yeah.
It's just for people to get out there and get checked, It doesn't matter how old you are. It can affect anyone. Like I'm
Yeah.
28. I
Yeah.
never thought that I'd be facing this battle ever.
And that's what I always hear. You always hear, I never thought it would happen to me. You know what I mean? And it's so true. Like,
I'd had cancer cysts and things in the past,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd had ovarian cancer, and I'd had trouble with before, but I've just never thought that it would get to this stage. Like I've been fighting since I had my youngest daughter to have a full hysterectomy, but because I'm under the age of 30, they wouldn't give me one.
yeah, they want to
Because
avoid
what
that.
happens if you meet someone and you want to have another baby? And I was like, mate, I was pregnant for 29 weeks with her. For 20 of that, I spent in hospital. I'm done.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not doing that again.
yeah.
No, and this last pregnancy that I had was a complete shock. It was not planned. It was not something that I wanted because my partner and I had split up at Christmas time. So
Yeah.
it was come as quite a,
Yeah.
very big shock to me and to him both. And then, I obviously miscarried, and then it's just like, you've got cancer.
Oh my God. Well, then it makes sense why it all had to happen that way.
Yeah,
As dark as it is.
yeah.
Wow.
It's been an awful year.
Yeah.
It's been an absolutely awful year, Like, it's Christmas time, I lost my best friend, Ryan. He committed suicide. And then, I had the miscarriage. I got diagnosed with cancer. And then I found out that Jack had killed himself. And it was just
Too much.
too much for me. But his mum has been, I always say he sent his mum to me. His mum has
100.
been amazing to me. She's so supportive, so loving, so caring, and it's just, I see where Jack got it from.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Like Jack was always there for me through
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. He's
And
got
now-
that trait from Karen,
Yeah,
100.
absolutely. She's just so kind and
I know.
caring. And
She's my absolute rock, hey.
I love her. I've not met her before, but I've got a deep respect for her. Like
Yeah.
she went out of her way. You might have seen on my Facebook, she sent me a parcel a week or two ago.
No, I didn't see.
I brought it with me to show you.
Oh.
I got this lovely parcel in the mail, and she said, I've sent you a little something. Can it come with incense? And I was very happy that I got it. And she sent me
Jack. Oh.
Jackie's book and some photos of him, which I still haven't gotten photo frames, which he would be laughing at me because I've been saying for weeks I'm going to get them put in there. So that's Jack and Karen there. They were lovely. He was everything to me. She sent me one of Jack's T-shirts and it smells exactly like him.
Yeah, she surprised me on my birthday last week with his shirts.
Just like him. She sent it to me, and honestly, that I was having one of the worst weeks, and just to get this in the mail meant absolutely everything to me, because Jack and I, we were never best mates, but when I needed someone, Jack was there like that.
Yeah.
I never had to question his loyalty. I never had to question his love. He always showed me support. Even when I was a bigger girl, he was always used to tell me, "You're beautiful. It doesn't matter what's on the outside. It's what's on the inside." And he hated my ex. Used to call him a garden gnome. And he helped me get out of that situation very quickly. And he always supported me through everything. And he always told me, sky's the limit for you, girl. You're going to get it.
Yeah, he's magic.
He is magic. He just, when I tried to commit suicide in 2020, Jack dropped everything to be there. And I really appreciated that, because at that time I felt so secluded, so alone. He made sure that I was okay. And I was just devastated I couldn't do the same thing.
Yeah, I have the exact same feeling.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
I think that's the hardest part. That's the guilt I deal with, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. It's just like I was so far up my own arse. That's what I said to everyone. I was so far up my own arse. I didn't know what was going on with him.
Well, understandably, you've been going through hell.
Yeah.
Hell.
Yeah. If people had to walk, as I said, I wouldn't wish this upon my worst enemy. If people had to walk in my shoes, they wouldn't understand. They wouldn't know how I function.
Yep. Yeah.
I have to get up every day. I've got 2 girls that rely on me. My nan and pop need help. I can't just lay down and play dead, as I say.
Man, you're an inspiration, honestly. And I don't mean that lightly. I hate how that just sounds like it's just, typical to say. But honestly, wow, I wish you could see what others would like, what I'm seeing right now. Like it's moving.
Thank you.
Very hauntingly beautiful.
I appreciate that.
And I'll definitely be there. To see you go Brittany.
So I'm going to go the full Britney Spears, and the Port Kennedy Tavern, Steve, Maddie, Stacey, all the staff there have been fantastic. Steve, the manager especially, like when I went to him and said that I wanted to do this fundraiser, he never once questioned anything. He threw everything at me and said, let's do it. They've thrown up 2 bottles of Johnny Walker Blue. Whatever shots or drinks are sold from that will go to the ACCF. They've paid for the photographer, they've paid for the balloons, they've opened up the venue area for me, they've done absolutely everything for me, offered support, done whatever they can. Maddie messages me with updates every week. I've just gone out and I've high pressure hose the back area for you.
Aww.
And it's wonderful. Like Steve, they have been so good to me, all the staff, every time I go there. How are you going? Always check in. They've been fantastic. So
it's amazing.
Yeah, they are really fantastic. And like Steve said to me, he gets where I'm coming from. He's got a wife and sisters and things like that. So he went straight home and said to his wife, when was your last
Go get checked,
yeah, go get checked. And that's what I say to everyone. If you've got family around, just encourage every woman that you know, go and get checked.
Yeah.
They may not think that they have anything, but you never know.
On that, I'm quite surprised. So I only moved to Australia just recently.
Yep.
But I've always known, and all my family, I don't know, maybe it's different in Europe and here. But like my mum, as soon as I turned 25, it was just, each year. So I'd still go, and so I'm really shocked by what you're saying, because it sounds like there's such a gap.
There is such a gap. So we're actually, I've got to go for a big meeting thing in end of August, start of September with the WA Health Minister.
What?
Yeah. I can't. This is
Congrats.
going to sound really bad. I've got brain fog, but who is the new Prime Minister?
I don't know. I thought we had a president up until a few days
Albanese
ago.
or whatever Albanese, whatever his name is, he's going to be there, and Mark McGowan and everyone. We're fighting to get that. It shouldn't be that women, the pap smears are for 25-year-olds. It should start
that makes no
way
sense.
younger.
I didn't know this.
But we also are trying to fight to get self-testing kits for women.
That would be so
that
good.
Would be so much.
Because
we've got bowel, and I know that we do when you go for breast cancer checks and things like that, and prostate cancer, they're free. So why should we have to pay for pap smears?
do we?
Yep.
You're
Pink
joking.
tax.
Pardon?
The pink tax.
The pink tax,
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
You don't have to pay for it, but when you have cervical cancer and ovarian cancer, you have cervical. When you go for those tests, you have to for Pap smears. You have to pay.
Oh, hell no.
It's the reproductive tax.
Reproductive
basically.
tax, basically. Yeah,
That's
so that's what we're
disgusting.
trying to fight to get rid of.
Yes.
On a side note, with cervical screenings, it's a more comfortable experience if you go to a sexual health clinic, seeing a nurse rather than seeing just a rando GP.
Yeah.
But as I say to everyone, if you can bear your business to take pictures for someone on the internet, or if you can bear your bits to get waxed by your beauty therapist, you can bear those 5 minutes to get tested.
I know. And you know what?
And it's
afterwards,
literally
you're like, why didn't I do it earlier?
You literally go, why didn't I do it earlier?
But before, like, I've been putting it off for years. Why do we, I don't know why us women do it.
It's the because you think it's going to be daunting.
Yeah.
It's not. It's like seconds.
Yeah,
Less
literally.
It's literally 15 seconds.
and they see fannies all day long, you know what I mean?
It doesn't hurt unless you've got vaginismus or it doesn't hurt. But it's just
it's
the
a very
unknown.
uncomfortable subject, and a lot of people, I will say that when you say you've got cervical cancer, they sort of
Shy
put
away.
cervical cancer into the same subject as like sexual transmitted diseases and things like that. It's not. Just because it's in the same area, it's completely different.
Did you think when you got called in, did you think it was just going to be, you've caught this or that?
If I'm honest, I thought,
Yeah, that's what I'd be thinking.
My ex
Great.
that I was with wasn't faithful.
Yeah.
And he was not very safe, I'd say, in the best way.
Yeah, that's what I'd be thinking. That's probably why you didn't bring a support person.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I was like, I'm not going to be told that I've got some STD with my grandmother sitting there.
Yeah.
But no, he literally said, you've got cervical cancer. But I've been sick for a long time. I've had problems with periods for years, and they just
this is what I like about how you're comfortable with talking about this, because it's important, and people do get uncomfortable talking about it, but it's the uncomfortable questions and the uncomfortable answers that really matter.
Ahead. Whatever you want to ask, go ahead. Honestly, it doesn't bother me.
Did you have bleeding after intercourse?
Yes. Severe bleeding after intercourse, like it would look like a massacre.
And like stabbing pains, things like that.
Yeah, stabbing pains, felt really uncomfortable during intercourse, no matter what position I was in.
And see, that's not a normal thing, so it is important to not brush that off.
No, and this is going to sound so stupid, but I just put it down to, he's just
size,
quite large. But no, it was not that at all. It was, I had obviously had cancers that were getting hit, and they just didn't know.
Oh, man.
So it was very painful, and when I got my periods, I would bleed right through everything, and it was really embarrassing because when I got my period, I wouldn't want to leave my house or anything like that. And
is that because you have weakened lining?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just
it just unfortunately it just causes severe, like, because of the weakened lining and everything like that.
Yeah, my mum had to get a full hysterectomy because it would just go and go and go for days. Like, I don't know how she had that much blood in her system.
I bled at one point for 14 days, and the doctor finally went, enough, we got to put you on some sort of pill to try and help stop because I'm anemic.
Yes, I was just about to say that would have been extreme. You're already getting your transfusions. Did you have a lot of blood transfusions as well? It's a lot of hours sitting in the bed.
So when COVID come through, unfortunately everything got cancelled. So then I had to go back through the rigmarole again of trying to get into the haematologist to get seen, because I can't have the normal transfusion that other people can because of the serum that it's mixed with. I'm anaphylaxis to it. So I actually have to have blood transfusions.
Oh, mate.
So when I have those, it takes, 3-4
forever.
hours. Yeah, and I have to stay in hospital for 6 hours afterwards.
Yeah, it's unbearable.
So that's generally when I end up in hospital. That's what they do, is they give me bags of fluid, give me a bag of iron with blood through the blood transfusion and keep me in. So I've spent more time in the last probably 6 months in hospital than when I had my own bed.
Oh, man, unbearable. I go nuts in
curiosity, sorry. What is the allergen present in the IV bags and the blood transfusion?
So I can't tell you what the serum is called, but whatever they mix with the iron, it comes in a little bag and it's mixed with the serum. That's what the iron's with. When I get the bags with blood transfusions, which have iron in it, it doesn't have that serum in it. They have to put the serum with the iron to mix it to give it to you. But I can't have that serum. So what actually happened was in 2013, I went to have an iron transfusion. And I had it and I went home and I was a little bit itchy, which they said was normal. Well, I was covered from a rash. And when I say from head to toe, from head to toe in hives, and I couldn't breathe properly. My mum come home, walked in the door, took one look at me and went, get in the car.
Oh
I was having it done at the chemotherapy unit at Rockingham. When I got in there, the doctor went, sit down, took one look at my mouth and pressed all the emergency buttons. And I had no idea what was going on. I just thought, they need more nurses or something. And then he was like, you're in anaphylactic shock, you need to lean back. And then they were jamming adrenaline needles in me everywhere.
So that's why you have to wait 6 hours after.
Yeah, and that's why when I went to the haematologist, I had to have all these tests and things to see what I can and can't have. So they done all these prick tests on my arms. And
that's not necessarily even helpful.
No.
Because no one goes to an immunologist anymore.
No.
I've had so many allergy things in the past year that I can really relate to a lot of their experiences.
It's horrible. They come and they put the pricks, draw a line down your arm, and then they go, right, we're going to poke holes in you, and we're going to put a certain amount on this side and this side, and then we'll just monitor you.
Oh, like an allergy test.
Like an allergy test, yeah. And they do it. I've had 3 of those done, mainly for medications. I'm not allergic to food. It's medication.
Yeah.
So I'm allergic to penicillin, erythromycin, Stemetil, Maxilon, codeine, tramadol, and buprenorphine. I can't have any of it.
That's tough.
So when I go to the hospital and I'm sick, they're like, oh, we'll give you Maxilon. And I'm like, I can't have that.
I love how they just say, I'll give you this instead of checking first.
And I'm like, I can't have that. Oh,
they even tell you what it is so many times they won't tell you.
Yeah.
They'll just be like, take this.
Yeah. I always double check because I've had it happen a couple times and I just, my life's worth more than risking it.
Yeah.
Just advocating for yourself constantly is
and that's an awkward thing to do sometimes, isn't it?
Especially when you're fighting against the health system because they do think that they know. I know it sounds awful, but sometimes you do know your body best.
100%.
Like I kept going to the hospital and saying,
that and diminish it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? You'll just
so many times.
Yeah.
And they were just like, no, it's because you smoke cannabis. It's because you smoke cannabis. And I was like, it's not. I quit smoking for nearly 9 months. I was like, it's not because I'm smoking cannabis. I've quit. There is something wrong with me. Oh, it's all in your head. Oh my God.
Yep, especially with chronic pain, and they don't take feminine and women's physical health seriously.
They think we're just not handling it like a strong person would half the time.
No, they just think that
dramatic.
Oh, she's a woman. She's being dramatic. Just give her a little bit of Panadol. Send her
The
away.
endemic sexism just.
And the other thing is that unfortunately in this day and age with the health system, when you go and you say you've got chronic pain, they do obviously think that you're faking because there is a lot of people who
that want
just go
painkillers.
to the hospitals for painkillers and things like that.
You can't even have 90%.
I can't have 90% of the crap that they want to give me, and I'm like, I can't have that. I can't have that. I can't have that.
So when you go and see I almost said president, the prime minister person, and the WA health
minister.
Yeah. What do you get to say? Have you got a plan?
I've got no plan. They told me that I get to make a speech and I'm the most bogan person you'll ever meet. So I'm like, I've got to really watch my P's and Q's. I said to my girlfriend, I said to Liz from the Australian Cervical Cancer Foundation, God bless her soul. I said to her, like, this is just a bit much. Like, I'm not real good with public speaking and I'm not very polite. I swear like
just straight up.
And she goes, that's why we want you. And she goes, because that's what we want is someone who's
real,
got that feistiness, who's got that realness. And she goes, we want you to sit there and say to him, sorry, but I think your policies are fucking shit. And I'm like, okay. And she said, well, it is, and when I look at their policies, it is really crap for women. We shouldn't have to pay for pap smears and things like that.
That's
prostate cancer checks are free. Breast cancer checks are free. Bowel cancer checks are free. We even get bowel testing kits in the mail. Why can't we have pap smear testing kits for women who are uncomfortable? So what is it called?
Pink tax.
Pink tax.
It means that anything to do with reproductive and even like, I guess, your appearance in the workplace, so your requirement to dress feminine to be appealing and professional. So your makeup, it can be wearing high heels. It's absolutely tampons and pads, anything to do with periods. So like your menstrual cups and stuff. It's really horrible, especially with right now it's women in even full-time positions only earn about 70% of male counterparts, which is really horrible.
It's definitely not a fair subject.
My God.
Not a
As
fair
women,
go.
I feel so oblivious
taxed
to
on so many
this bit.
things.
Yeah.
We are taxed on so many things. Like we shouldn't have to pay for our pap smears. That's the biggest thing.
Not
that
to
keeps
mention
going through,
birth control. I remember
Yes.
because I go a bit psychotic. Hopefully, no future husbands are listening. But I get premenstrual psychosis, and if I take any sort of estrogen, so which is birth control, I loop it. I go insane. My bipolar enhances tenfold. So they tried me on this really expensive one, and it's like $140 like for a little box. And when you're younger and you want to take care of yourself and be on birth control, it makes it pretty impossible. It's just crazy. I don't understand it. Like, especially because
there's such high tax on something that should be freely given, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think of it like the policy to have a cat now, you have to have it desexed, right? And there's so many options to get that for free and stuff. So why is our birth control so expensive?
Exactly.
Because they're always on about we're over
procreating and
and
overpopulating everything.
Yeah.
Which I can understand in a
so
sense.
it's like
but
we'll
if
make
that's
it
the case,
a little more accessible.
Make it accessible. How is this? I don't mean to sound awful, but you got to be realistic. 15, 16-year-olds are having sex these days.
That's what I'm saying. How do they expect
do
them to pay?
How do you expect a 14-year-old to go out and pay $80 for birth
they're in
control,
school,
and
they're
then
not working
They're not working. And I'm sorry,
Actually-
but half their parents are struggling with the cost of living these days. So they're not exactly going to go, well, here's a spare $140. Go and spend it on pills.
Especially the kids that don't tell their parents because, they're scared of them getting mad. So they, how are they meant to be safe without asking mum, dad, can I have $60 for,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We are really fortunate. If you have access to the information, the Sexual Health Resource Centre in Northbridge will provide support to, I think, even children between like 10 and maybe 18 for free or very low cost contraception. But at the moment, there's a lot of talk in the media because abortions are still illegal in WA.
I've heard that. I just recently, I don't really watch social media that much, but I've just seen this new abortion thing that it's gone illegal.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I just found out. Where is it illegal? Is it America? They've made it full illegal, right?
No, in WA.
In WA, when did that happen?
Just recently, yeah.
I only heard it on the radio a couple of days ago. I haven't looked.
Wait, in
into
WA, like here?
Yeah. I was under the impression that it wasn't.
I thought it was America.
I thought it was America too because I get on TikTok and there's all these people on there posting about the laws and things. And I won't lie, I'm one of these people that stands up and says to all my American girlfriends, like, if you want to come here, you come. My house is open.
Yeah.
100%. I don't agree with any of the laws, but in saying that, if you're going to make abortions illegal, then make Viagra illegal. Limp dick should be it's God's way, limp dick should be the way too.
Yeah, no, that's
Simple as that.
I'm gobsmacked now. So like currently right now it's illegal.
If I'm wrong, I completely apologize.
No, I think you are. I think you are right. Hey, because I know that like all my friends have been like going nuts about it, but I just haven't exactly tuned in.
I'll Google it right now.
Yeah, should I Google it?
I
Google
don't
it.
think
But
it's
even so,
illegal.
whether it's Australia or not,
It's not okay.
guns are still legal.
Yeah, wait.
Where are abortions?
I don't mean to sound.
I don't think it is.
I don't
Just,
mean to sound
um,
awful,
I
but
hope
they
not.
chose.
No, it's not because I'm pretty sure it's not because
It says legal in Australia.
Yeah. what's happening in the States is each state in the United States of America
I'm seeing that now.
can make individual ruling towards that.
What made this happen?
I want to say it's the USA. I mean, it just sounds like they're 2 steps back, 1 step forward.
Did they just wake up one day and go, what can we make legal? Oh, I know.
Sadly, like when it's run by old white men in privilege, women do not come, and women are just not considered. And going back to health system and cervical cancer not getting the PR that it should, or a lot of things don't get the PR. Research in women's bodies, even heart attacks, are completely different to men's.
Yeah.
But there's not that research there, because in the scientific community you have male, you get your subjects, these are primarily male.
Yeah.
So you get what a male's body will respond. But because you don't have enough females, because you didn't recruit them, because there's so many things to consider, because women, if they're on their period or if they're pregnant, suddenly they're out. But that shouldn't be a reason to exclude females.
No.
And then give them the drugs that a male should be getting. But you never tested.
No.
You never tested on a female. So, yeah, it's flawed to the core.
The health system is there's so many systems in the government that are flawed. The health system is the biggest one, as well as the justice system, I will say that. But the biggest thing that I can say is that you are 100% right. The whole situation in America is just literally old men who are privileged making choices against women's bodies. They shouldn't be able to make those choices for women. And you're right, here in Australia, we don't have all the PR for cervical cancer and all that sort of thing. But we also don't have you're right, there isn't a lot of public revenue for a lot of things. But the biggest, as I said to, as Liz and I say to my oncologist, like if this is if cervical cancer is one of the biggest killers in women between 25 and 29 globally, why is there not something more about this? Like you were all on about cigarettes are bad and all that. Like, why is there not something like this brought up? I'll tell you right now, before I was diagnosed, I didn't know anyone that had cervical cancer. I knew people that had breast cancer and are very cysts on their ovaries and things.
Sounds like there's shame attached to it or something.
There's almost a stigma behind it.
Yeah, that's what I'm
taboo.
Thinking. Yeah.
Like it's an STD
reproductive organs. Yeah. We can't. It's hard for women to talk to their own friends about anything going on with their reproductive systems. It's so why is it so? It is.
We all came out of a vagina. I just needed to put that out there.
Yeah, we all come out of a vagina.
There's that darkness around it. It's
especially over. Where are you from?
The last place I lived was Eastern Europe, but I lived in Europe.
Yeah, well, I know that we're sort of lucky here compared to, I mean, in different countries, like periods are shameful. Like, you know what I mean? So it probably stems from deep, deep, deep history.
We could deep dive straight into that. But it's also gender diverse people when it comes to things like cervical screenings and sexual health and just general health. There's so many barriers, and you just even when it comes to financially going in to get that kind of help, there's no knowledge whatsoever. So you're more likely to just
leave it.
You don't know.
Yeah.
And you won't find the answers.
Well, I mean, you didn't get answers for how long? So it's almost like, why bother? Like no one knows what they're talking about. And I think that's a massive reason.
That when I did have the miscarriage, I got a really good gynecologist, and he wasn't happy with the way that I had been treated.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, he said, like, this is not okay. Something's not right here. We need to seriously look into what's going on with you. And when he did all these tests and they sent away the biopsies, he said to me, I'm hoping for the best for you, but like, just stay positive. And I thought to myself, it's just going to be cancerous cyst or something. I'm so used to having nose cut out, it's fine.
Oh man, he knew as soon as he seen you light up.
He knew, but he said I just couldn't bear to say because I just had such a shit time already. But it is what it is. Like I'm here fighting. I have chemo. I'll be having radiation and the hysterectomy and everything done, which is fine. But my biggest thing is that I just want to get, if the word out there about it, that's the biggest thing, is just anyone can say anything, but I'm going to be the person that makes everyone, every woman,
go get a
screening done. I'm only one person.
Everyone with a vagina.
Oh, yes. Everyone with a vagina, yes.
I think every show I do, I'm going to leave it at the end as, by the way, if you're a female and you haven't had a pap smear, go and get one.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Because it's the most, like I said, 42 people, 3 people. That's not normal. And it's not just young people, it's older people too. Like one lady I spoke to, she was 64. She'd never had a pap smear done. Never. And she's a good friend of mine.
I probably would have got to 64 and not had one if I didn't have my baby and have to have one.
I will kick your ass if you don't go and get one.
Oh, yeah, I always avoid I'm 100% doing it.
Just that's the biggest thing, read up about it. People don't know.
So what's this, 25 years old? You're not meant to have a pap smear.
If you are under the age of 25
and haven't had a baby.
And haven't had a baby, they won't give you a pap smear. And
why?
90% of the time, it is those younger, that age group that needs to be tested.
Yeah.
Because they can have cells, they can have things, and they don't know.
Do you know the reasoning why?
My sister's just turned 21, and my cousin is, I think she's 21 too. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember. But her mum is actually having to go with her to demand for her to get a pap smear. She's been sexually active since she was 15.
I'm literally baffled.
They won't do it. 25.
Do they have a reason? Like, do they have a...
It goes back to when the policies are written and they need to be changed all the time.
Right, which people are doing all around the world all the time.
Yeah, so 25 would have been right at that time, but as you're saying...
We're living in 2022, guys. Yeah. We've changed so much. I can't believe this is still...
You can't keep the same policies from 10 years ago into this day and age now. Yeah. Because, unfortunately... the diseases and everything are more advanced these days than what they were back then.
If it's any consolation with cervical screenings, it's not what it was with pap smears. It's you literally get a swab and you can do it yourself in privacy, similar to what you do with the COVID thing.
Yeah, but up.
But up the woohoo.
Woohoo?
Yeah.
So this is what you mean about getting home tests?
Yeah.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
I think that's incredible.
I think a lot of women panic about going and having a pap smear done because they've all got this fear that it's this big metal thing that's going to go in you. And no, it's literally, it's plastic. It takes less than a minute to do.
Yeah, literally.
It could potentially save your life.
Definitely.
What's more important to you, your life or...
3 seconds of a bit awkwardness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's people up at the chemotherapy unit that have got cancer and things like that, and I all speak to them about it, and they all say the same thing. They don't hear a lot of things about ovarian cancer or...
So the more we talk about it, every one of us...
every one of us.
Same, that's how I feel about mental health too.
Yeah.
Yes, the PR issue was the same with breast cancer until a famous woman got breast cancer.
McGrath's wife, I can't remember her name.
Oh.
Yeah, so
he's our Prime Minister?
No.
Was it a cricket player or something?
He was a cricket player, yeah. God bless you. Glenn McGrath's wife, she got breast cancer.
And
that's what and it's the same as Rove McManus's wife.
Oh, she was like a little blonde lady, and that was like Home and Away days when we were younger.
Yeah.
I remember this. That was devastating. All the mums were like devastated.
So that's how. Because there's people in power now talking about it, but it's the same thing.
It's the same as Parkinson's disease. No one really heard about that until Michael J. Fox got it, and they had all the specials on him and how he shook. Like it's exactly the same thing. It's sad that it takes getting someone in the
the limelight and the
the
fame.
limelight in the fame to raise awareness. Like it's not how it should be. It should just be a subject that's spoken about every day. If you've got children at home, you should be talking about mental health illnesses. You should be talking about sexually transmitted diseases. You should be talking about cancer and things like
Real
that.
life stuff.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, these are all real subjects that at some point in their life they're going to be subjected to.
And we're literally all humans and we are all at risk at all of these things.
Literally. Yeah. And people just, you take your life for granted, I think, especially as humans. I'll admit over my time I have.
Yeah.
I've taken my life for granted many of times, but having cancer gives you a big reality call and really wakes you up to what's important and what's worth fighting for, what's not worth fighting for. And this is something that I'm very passionate about, and I don't care if I'm laying in a hospital bed half dead. I will still be fighting for it then.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
Oh, you're amazing. Thank you. Oh.
Yeah. For what you're doing. All the strength.
It does take a lot of strength. I will admit I'm very tired. I'm exhausted every day. It's hard to get in and out of bed and try and function and be mum and be a daughter, a friend, someone that you can lean on. Half the time I'm sitting there having conversations and my girlfriends know when I'm listening and when I'm not there. Because I'll just nod and they're like, she's not here. And I'll just keep nodding and they know she's not here, she's somewhere else. Unfortunately, it's hard. I don't sleep much of a night time. That's probably the hardest thing, is that you have broken sleeps. I'm in and out of bed with pain, and then when you do get comfortable, you get nauseated and you feel sick, like you're going to vomit, so then you're up. And it's a battle every day. But as I say to everyone, whenever I've got air in my lungs, a heartbeat in my chest, and I can still walk, I will get up every single day and fight. And I've got two
what are
beautiful...
you doing for yourself that brings you joy?
What brings me joy?
Yeah.
My nephews and my nieces and my kids bring me joy. I love spending time with them. My best friend Simone, she's got 2 little boys. They are 2 and Jai will be 1 in less than 2 weeks' time. I'm very, very close with them. Like, I love Jai. He's so chubby, he's so fat, but he's got such personality on him. I love him.
I love a chubby baby.
Yeah. Like, what brings me joy is going and spending time with my best friend and her kids and, getting to watch them grow up and spending time with my pop sitting out the back and talking with him. Half the time he just talks nonsense, but they're the things that bring me joy.
You're really treasuring those little things.
Yeah, 100%, because it makes you really, really evaluate life and what's important to you. Like I said, you stop going, well, Bill, this is more important. Like, it's all about family.
Yeah.
And I say that to everyone. It's all about my family and my friends who've been there. It's not about me anymore. It's not about what I want to do with my life, where I wanted to go or how I can get rich. It's about spending time with them while I've got them here and while I'm still here. It's sad that it's taken this to make me realise.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've lost friends over the years. I've lost family members who've passed away and what have you. But when you're diagnosed with something as severe as this, it really makes you sit back and go, well, shit, what's important and what's not?
Big ego death, hey?
Yeah. Yeah. It really makes you appreciate things.
Yeah.
I hope with everything that's been happening in your life and the impact on the people that you really love, you're making time to rest psychologically and make space for yourself. Because it's a lot.
I'd like to say that I do that, but I'd be lying out of my ass. I find it very hard to switch off and not help everyone around me. It's
empath.
Yeah, empath life. You just can't.
It's like a curse.
It is a curse, because I'm one of these people that's like, I could be half dead on the ground and I'm still dragging myself up to help people. That's just the way that I've always been.
100%.
It's very hard. It is very hard, I will admit that. But I do have, like, my girlfriends who are like, no, you are going to rest. You are going to lay down. You are going to take time for yourself. My auntie Tammy, God bless her soul, and I give her a little shout out, otherwise she might kill me. She has been so fantastic to me since I've been diagnosed, and she's always encouraging, and she always says to me, take time out for yourself, go down for a walk on the beach and just stand in the water, go and get some sun. Like, she always encourages me to take care of me, because otherwise it is very easy to forget about yourself. especially when you're a mum and what have you. Like, I'm very lucky. My girls are taken care of no matter what. If I'm not taking care of them, my nan and pop will. But it is very hard to find the balance.
Because you feel guilty for not being your best self. You feel guilty for like you're a burden. That's hard when you're an empath.
Feel like I feel like a burden, and I hate having to ask for help. Like half the time when I'm sick, I'll just take myself to the doctors and what have you, and everyone around me is like, you just have to say, I need help, and I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm too independent and I'm too stubborn, and even my friend Scott, he's in a wheelchair. God bless his soul. He's been in one since he was 3 or 4. He's 34 and he still offers me help every day, and I'm like, no, I'm fine.
That'd be you.
Yeah, I don't need help. I'm all good. I'm all good. I'll just keep soldiering on.
But it's also that pride that leads you to burn out. I'm saying this from personal.
I'm a Scorpio. We're so stubborn and our pride is so big, it's not funny. And I find it very hard to let go of control.
Yep.
Even just simple little things like washing and cleaning.
You can't control everything.
I know. I wish I could. It would be fantastic. It's just, it does. It's very hard at times. Very hard, especially when it comes to the girls and things like that. Like there's all these people who want to help, and I'm like, Mama Bear ready to attack. Just let me do my job. But yeah, it's getting a lot better. I will say that.
I'm glad.
Well, guys, I'd love to invite everyone to come down on Saturday, the 9th of July. It's from 4 p.m. at the Beer Garden. Is it Port Kennedy?
Yes.
Yep. The Port Kennedy Tavern. So that's Saturday, the 9th of July at 4 p.m. and we'll post up the poster. But please come down. As you've listened to today, we need to all bring in a lot more support, it sounds like. But Brittany, thank you so
much
much
for having me on here.
You're honestly very, very inspiring. I think you've moved us all today.
Thank you. That's very, very kind of you.
Jack would be very proud.
Got me.
All right, guys. Well, we'll be back in shortly with an interview with I think we're keeping him anonymous, but we'll be talking about mental health and addiction and just real life struggles for and men's mental health, which is really important. But I'm gonna leave you guys with Reckless by Lund, and thank you guys today.